Please send help.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Hey guys, it's your Bo the Doggo, and welcome back to Winds of Change. And you might ask now, what the fuck was that before the intro? I don't know. Please don't ask. We don't talk about that. That's behind us now. Okay, yeah, good. I think this might be the shortest episode this far. Hopefully I can make it like the same length as the last one, but I think already now that this will be the shortest episode this far of Winds of Change because I don't have that much time to record, but I still wanted to record more. So this is how we're doing. We are going to the time square this time. We got to the main gate and we managed to persuade the guard. So now we're getting into town and probably most likely gonna meet Dominic now. So yeah, let's go. As we take our first steps into Masayo, we all pause and examine the surroundings. It's a crowded mess with people running in every conceivable direction. Market stalls are set wherever there's room, with all sorts of wares. Is it apple time?
Wait, I think I see them.
There it is. Fortem immediately tries running ahead and thrilled by something he sees. But before he can get very far, Ulrich grabs him from behind and stops him. With a tight grip on Fortem's collar, it's clear that he's not going anywhere.
Hey, what gives?
Don't leave the group, idiot.
You can't just run off into a crowd like that, Fortem. You'll get lost, and I don't have the time to find you. Stick close to us. We'll get over there eventually.
This is our elder.
All right.
His ears droop down and he starts to mope around. But before he gets too sad, Ulrich reaches into his pockets. Pulling out some coin, he gives it to Fortem with a smile.
Here's some money to spend on whatever you want, but like I said, just make sure you stick close to us. This isn't the kind of place you want to be alone in.
Wow, thanks, Ulrich. I'm gonna look for some apples then. Can you point them out for me so I don't get lost?
Yeah, they should be over there.
Pointing to a nearby market stall, Fortem runs off, jubilant. Free money from Ulrich? He must have taken a liking to Fortem. Either that, or he figured that somebody needed to keep him in line. Or maybe he just wanted to be nice.
Well, I guess we should keep an eye out for Dominic. Knowing him, he's already here waiting for us. Do you see him anywhere, Pro?
There's too many people. Give me a few minutes. I'll find him.
A few moments later, Fortem returns. He's holding an apple, his eyes glistering with happiness.
Look, I finally got what I wanted. It was so expensive though. I only had enough for one. Guess I'll have to make it last as long as possible, huh?
Woohoo!
Only one? You were conned, Fortem. I should have followed you after all.
Conned?
Yeah, taken advantage of. The locals know a tourist when they see one. They raise the prices because you don't know any better.
Aww.
Mean.
Sorry, it's my fault. For a moment, I put too much faith in the people. At least now you know all of my warnings were true.
I thought he was gonna say, sorry, I put too much faith in you. Ulrich lets out a large sigh and continues scouting the surroundings. He takes a few steps in different directions, as if that helped his search, but Valessa calls out to us shortly after, pointing back towards the gate.
Is that him?
A man that was standing there starts to laugh and approach us. He was standing with his back against the gate, out of sight. It was a perfect hiding spot, since we would be looking ahead.
I just wanted to see if you'd noticed me, actually.
It's him!
You've got a good eye on you. Valessa, right?
Yeah, Valinorth scribe. Pleased to meet you, Dominic.
And I'm Fortem, the Elder. We've heard a lot about you, actually.
All nonsense, I'm sure.
After smiling at Valessa and Fortem, he approaches me.
And you must be the seer. It feels like I've been waiting forever to meet you. Honestly, the last little while has been so hectic.
I think that most viewers also feel like they have waited forever to meet you, so... But here we are, episode 7. Let's go. He blushes, and I can tell that he's extremely nervous. It's odd, because he greeted Valessa and Fortem with ease. It humbles me to see a man of such importance treat me this way.
I almost can't believe this is happening. It's an honor to meet you, Seer. It truly is.
Oh, the feeling is mutual. Oh, can I say? I didn't picture the general to be so handsome. The honor is all mine, Dominic. So you're the one who forced me into all of this. Smash him. Nice to meet you too. Let's go with the handsome thing.
What? Oh, cut it out. There's no need to say things like that. Trust me, you're already on my good side.
No harm in getting even on the better side. I reach out to shake his hand, but he immediately pulls back. With a nervous laugh, he rubs the back of his head. Did I do something wrong? He seemed excited to see me, so I assumed that the handshake was in order.
Anyway, shall we get going? We have quite a busy day ahead of us.
He starts walking, expecting us to follow. Okay, so he didn't even mention what it was about. Okay. But as soon as he gets to Pro, he stops in his tracks.
Oh, just one more thing before we move along. You'll be on cleaning duty for the next month, Pro.
Ooh.
What? What did I do?
It's more about what you didn't do, and the answer to that is everything. I ended up sending Ulrich to pick up your slack.
Oh no. Pro.
We can't afford to waste time anymore. I'm sure you had your reasons, but...
Yeah, and they were really good reasons. I couldn't just march into Valinorth with a blade. I need to have some discretion. It took time.
Really, Pro. You know you can't just throw excuses at me. I know how this stuff works. You were lazy.
He lets out a large sigh while Pro shuffles in place, ashamed.
I suppose it's my fault in the first place. I should have known better than to send you there. With a tavern in the way, your priorities would be clear.
After a spat, Dominic turns to face me with a smile. Even when he was scolding, it was polite. That's interesting. I can see why people would like to follow him.
Anyway, we have some business with the mayor. Let's head to his house. I'll explain there. After that, I'll give you a tour of our HQ.
Yeah!
Plans with Grizz. Is it about the pirates?
I said I'd explain when we get there, Ulrich. We can't talk about this kind of stuff out in the open. Finish up whatever business you have, and we'll get going.
With that said, I guess it was time to head to the mayor's house. I knew nothing about Mazeo, so I didn't know if this was a detour or not. But either way, my training with the Blade of Exodus would surely begin today. Ooh, exciting. I look at Valinorth Forte, and we know that one another. I guess I'll finish up my business here, and then follow Dominic. So are we gonna talk to people and stuff here now? My legs are tired, but I feel like our trek was almost over. Okay, so what can we do here? There's no one to talk to. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Dominic has now permanently joined our party. A new static, morale, has also been unlocked. Okay, so even more stuff. Troop morale is at 90%. Morale might rise and fall over the course of the game. Your army and their welfare will be affected by your choices. Ensure a high morale, or your forces may not survive the coming war. That sounds a lot like Mass Effect 2, the suicide mission. And like, oh, you have to have everyone loyal or they will die. Spoilers. Okay, so we can talk to Dominic, we can talk to Fortem and Little Hearts thing. There's no bantering and there's nothing else. Okay, so just talking to them and it's looking around. So start looking around then.
Hey, this is where I got those apples. Still wish they didn't end up scamming me.
No.
You can never trust anybody around here. Even I get taken advantage of sometimes.
Really?
Yeah, I can let my guard down too. So don't feel bad about your mistake, Fortem.
If anything, he learned an important lesson. Should we go complain? Maybe he can get his money back.
There's no point. They'd never give it back.
Mm-hmm.
We'd only end up bringing more attention to ourselves. I think we'll just have to chalk this one up as a loss.
All right. I'm sorry.
You didn't do anything wrong. They did. I'll buy you more apples when I get a chance. The money I gave you could have easily bought 10.
10?
Okay,
How far back does this town square go?
To be honest, it almost doesn't stop. Mazeo is pretty much one huge market. There's a few residential areas, but they're tiny.
That's insane!
Yeah, but you get used to it.
Where do the people live then?
Most of them have small beds behind their market stalls. Those that are lucky enough to own an actual shop live inside of it. If you want to live in Mazeo, you need to sell something of value.
Or offer your services, like me with my sword on.
Yeah, you need to do something to make money. If you live in a residential area, that means you're rich. It's a sign of wealth. Like, you don't need to work anymore.
Huh.
I'm guessing not everybody gets that far.
No, most people live on a day-to-day basis. If they don't sell something that day, they don't eat.
That's crazy. In Valinorth, we share everything. We'd never stand by while citizen starves.
Yeah, you have it pretty good in Valinorth. But this is what I like to call the real world, Valessa. Valinorth was special. The rest of the world is more like this.
Hopefully we can change that. Where do you think we'll be living after the war?
If we survive, anywhere we want.
Nice.
Wow, you can buy weapons here? I mean, they're just laying out in the open.
Yeah, you can buy anything in Mazeo. If it's not legal, then the pirates can get it for you. They call this place the town of infinite connections.
Wow.
Hey, that one looks like your sword, Ulrich. Did you buy your sword from one of these places?
No, my sword is ancient. Rumor says it belonged to an Alaranthian legend. With just how well it's made, I think that's actually true.
Cool.
Wow, a legend? Explains why you carry it around all the time.
Yeah, I'd hate to leave it unattended. Even when I carry it, people beg me to sell it. But it beats leaving it alone and risking theft.
So you've used that sword for your entire life?
I have, and I'll use it for the rest of my life too. It shows no signs of wearing down. It's perfect. I can't say the same about the ones they have for sale.
Ulrich motions at the market stall that initially got Valessa's attention. The merchant glances over at us, understanding Ulrich's accusatory gesture. We quickly run away from the stall before they can speak or chase after us. Okay, I guess we're gonna talk to these two then. Let's start with, because we're probably gonna ask Dominic like a million questions about the rebellion and him and oh my god. So let's start with Fortem. Fortem, heart to heart 2, yes. I notice Fortem standing at one of the market stalls, enthralled. I take a few steps forward to see what he's looking at, and nobody follows me. It seems they're willing to give us some time alone, now that we're in Mazeo.
Hey, Seer! Check this out!
He points to a bunch of strange metal objects attached to ropes. If I could describe them as anything, it would be a metallic claw. Is this a fishing rod? I have no idea what they are, however, or why he was so taken by them.
You know, when I climb trees, it's hard to get a grip. But with these, I can just stab them into the tree and hold on.
Oh.
I didn't know these existed. It would make things so much easier.
He shuffles in place, thinking to himself.
You don't think that would hurt the trees, do you?
Of course not. They can take more than that. It might. We can never be too sure, Fortem. Well, I mean, it's... Oh, they're made out of copper and you put them there, maybe? But no, let's say no, of course not.
Awesome! That's what I thought. I'll have to make money somehow, and save up. This'll make climbing the Grand Tree a lot easier.
I mean, I don't think it would kill the tree. He leans a bit closer to the market stall, looking for a price.
And of course, there's no price on them. Probably so they can scam people too. I'll have to get Ulrich to figure this out.
He smiles and laughs softly, before turning to face me.
You know, these markets are pretty cool. What do you think about them, Seer?
This choice will permanently alter your relationship with Fortem. Okay. They're pretty awesome, yeah. A great place to have a first date, I think. Way too many people for my liking. I just wish our parents were here with us. Now, just go with a friendly one. It's pretty awesome, yeah.
Just a bit crowded, though. And I did want to have some private time. Hey, follow me. I have an idea, Seer.
Oh? He grabs an apple out of his pocket and gives me a sly smirk. It's the one Ulrich bought for him, so he must have not eaten it yet. As he runs away, I follow him, and we end up in a nearby back alley.
See? Much better. I can actually hear myself think now. Let's grab a seat and relax. We deserve it.
What about not running away from the other people then? Staying to the group. What happened to that? He motions to the ground. It didn't seem comfortable, but it would do. I sit down and rest my back against the wall. He promptly sits down beside me. Holding out the apple, He inspects it, almost like if he's a bit hesitant to eat it.
I wonder if it'll taste like I remember. It's only been around 20 years after all. Hey, let's share it. You should try some too.
Okay. He stares directly at the apple, watching it glisten in the sunlight.
You know, I'm kinda scared to eat it. I'm worried it might not live up to my memories. Things don't usually work out that way. Why should this?
He shrugs and then looks up at me.
Here goes nothing?
He raises it up to his mouth and takes a large bite. Shaking with excitement, juices drip down his chin. I can tell that it's just as good as he remembers.
Wow. You have got to try this, Seer.
Okay. He holds it up, offering it to me, his hands practically shaking. I grab it for him and inspect it. It's incredibly soft and juicy. They must have grown this differently in order to make it so special. But I wonder why the triumvirate would ban this from trade. It seems harmless, and I can't remember the last time Fortin was so happy. I take a bite with a large crunch and start chewing. The sweetness is overwhelming. I always doubted how good this apple would be. Fortin really talked it up. There was always a worry in my back of my mind that it wasn't really that good. However, after finally tasting it, I know that I was unequivocally wrong. It was amazing.
See? I told you! I can't believe I'm eating this again. I just wish my parents could be here.
I hand him back the apple, and we slowly take turns eating it. Minutes after, only the tiny core remains. We really went to town on it. Placing it down on his side, Fortin rests against the wall, sighing.
Thanks for sharing that with me, Seer. Actually, thanks for hanging out with me at all. I know there's so much to do. I'm really honored.
Don't worry about it. He smiles before standing back up, and I do as well. There was no point in this quest if I couldn't have fun along the way. Our bond could flourish, even during war. That was an incredible friendship.
Back to business, I guess? But mark my words, I'm gonna get that climbing gear. And a second set, too. I'll make an apprentice out of you yet.
Yeah. He smirks and runs back into the market. I follow after him, and we regroup with everybody else. It was a nice distraction, but it was time to get things back on track. It's time to talk to Dominic for 20 minutes. Let's go.
Hey,
Yep, 1 billion questions. What can you tell me about yourself?
well, it all depends on what you'd like to know. I mean, I'm an open book, but I don't know where to start. Feel free to throw a few questions at me. I'll play along.
Cool. Okay, how old are you? Not interesting, but sure. Maybe we can figure out how old Ulrich is by that.
27. Not too young, not too old. I'm in the perfect place to be leading this army. A lot of the other victims were far younger than me, and those that weren't were far older. They took on more of a caregiver role. Plenty of orphans needed plenty of parents.
So, if he's almost 30 and Ulrich seemed to be like old enough to have left his home and starting as a sellsword when he saw Dominic grow up. So I mean, he's probably like 10 years older. So maybe he's like 35, 37 there somewhere, I guess. When did you join the rebellion?
I must have been 6 or 7 years old. A lot of the details are like a blur in my head. Maybe my mind did that on purpose, you know. But I was rescued by a small group of townspeople. After the battle died down, they started picking up the scraps. The rebellion wasn't formed just yet. That was just starting. Salus, the previous elder of Valinorth, came to visit. The treaty and the rebellion were formed shortly after. I had no place to go. And no family. I was forced to fight.
Oh.
But that's not really a bad thing, you know. I'm pretty strong now. Trained for almost any scenario. I just wish I didn't have to miss out on a regular childhood.
I like the voice actor of Dominic, actually. Are you seeing anybody?
Oh, of course not. I don't have time for that. I mean, maybe when this war is over or something, but right now, I'm far too busy with everything else. And truth be told, I wouldn't even know where to start. The orphans of the occupation were taught war, not love. Other than fighting this battle, I'm not meant for much else.
Okay, so no point in going after Dominic then. I don't care about this hobby, sorry. Why can you tell me about the rebellion? Why can you tell me about the Primarate? Tell me your thoughts on our comrades. I'd like to know more about our battle plan. Okay, let's start with the rebellion then.
Well, almost everything, I'd assume. I was one of the founding members with Salus. I guess they like that term more than child soldier.
Oh, even more! Okay, tell me about the HQ.
When the Triumvirate took over Mazeo, they had one goal: dig deep underground and find the true spirit idol of this nation. They made their honor guard do this, those empty suits of armor. But while they dug, they also created a sort of barracks down there. I'm not sure why, because the honor guard couldn't make use of it, but I'm assuming it was for when real people came for inspections. Either way, they basically turned it into a paradise. Beds, weapons, training rooms, a war table, everything. When I first saw it, I knew I had to win it for the rebellion.
What if they made it and like they knew that the rebellion would find it? So when they build it, they were like, hey, this is gonna be the rebellion's headquarters. Or something, maybe?
Thankfully, Grizz had been turning to our side. It wasn't hard to woo over the mayor and get the deed. His only condition was that he got access to the idol first. I'm not sure what he wants to do with it, but he can't really do anything if I'm honest. Not without you or the Blade of Exodus.
Rude. How was the previous leader?
Salus? Well, he was a father figure to a lot of us. That's probably why his sacrifice hit us all so hard. You do remember that he was the elder of Valinorth, right?
Yeah, but I don't know much about him.
It's not like he took on a secret double life. He was still the same. If anything, at least now you have an explanation for his trips. He was helping out the rebellion and Valinorth. That's a tall order.
How many members are there?
Several hundred, but under 1,000. We're a fully realized army, and I know we can do this. With you and that blade, our victory is pretty much secured.
Jeez, that is much more than I thought. How is troop morale?
It's wonderful. Everybody is in a great mood. We have the numbers and the strength to put up a fight. But on top of that, we have you and the Blade of Exodus.
Oh yeah.
When you're trained with it, you can lead the final battle. That blade isn't just a weapon, but a symbol of hope. It sets us apart from every previous insurrection. With its power, you'll be unstoppable. I hope you're ready to go down in history as a hero.
Yeah.
The man who changed Alestia forever.
Of course. What can you tell me about the Triumvirate?
We don't know too much about them, to be honest. They're shrouded in mystery and only rule from their chambers. We've tried to coax them out, but so far nothing has worked.
Do you know where they came from?
Not a clue. It's anyone's guess. Hopefully we'll find some answers after all this is over. There's got to be some record of their past, right? At least that's what I'm hoping for, but I'll have to be content if we never find out. My main goal is liberating Alestia and gaining freedom.
Okay, do you know how old they are?
At least as old as Alestia, or something like that. History seems to have begun when they did. Either that or they covered up the past.
What if they okay, now they have shown that they have some kind of magical power on the other hand. Like when they were teleporting me back to their place and forcing me to stop and all that, or made me not able to move. But I thought maybe they are a group that takes in new members and or something, and when the people die, so there's always a group, but they are not the same individuals as when they started, except maybe for the leader. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I hope.
There's no record of history prior to their rule, so that's why everybody regards them as gods. But there's more to the story. I can feel it in my gut.
It's good. Do you know what they look like? No, he doesn't. So, did they make the Blade of Exodus?
I think so. As far as we know, they've had it forever. Ancient writings and murals have depicted the blade. We still don't know for sure, though. They could have found it. What we need to worry about is the power the blade houses. It gave them the power to enslave an entire world of innocent people. We must never resort to the same thing. I want to destroy it when this is over.
You mad lad. Will the Blade of Excellence be enough to kill them?
I'd like to think so, yeah. It's actually a bit ironic, isn't it? Their own weapon, used against them. As soon as you learn to use it, we'll be good to go. I have no doubt in my mind that it's strong enough. You were chosen by the spirits for this destiny.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back. Tell me your thoughts on Koma. Okay.
Sure. What would you like to know?
What would I like to know? I would like to know what you think of Pro.
Right now, I'm a little upset with him, but I'll manage. He's my go-to man when something involves being sneaky. His reconnaissance work has been a great boon to our efforts. I suspect that you'll be working with him closely in the future. A lot of our final attack on Balteus will involve a stealthy infiltration, but we'll get to more of that in the future, so no need to waste time on it now.
Okay. What do you think about me?
Well, I wouldn't know where to start. You're such an important figure to both me and my army, but to Alestia, you're going to be known as their savior. I have to admit you're a bit different than I expected.
Excuse me?
All this stuff had me thinking you'd be larger than life, but I guess that's my fault. You're just a normal person.
Yeah, that's me. I'm just a normal guy.
The thing that makes you special is on the inside, not the outside. I guess it just benefits us that not everybody can see that, right? We wouldn't want you to be a walking target for the enemy to find.
I mean, that's almost like how it is being like a celebrity or a YouTuber or whatever, so any kind of type famous person. It's like, no, I'm just a normal person. There's nothing special about me, really. What do you think about Ulrich?
Ulrich is one of my best friends. He really is. There's no man I'd rather have at my back in battle. He saved me from dying more times than I can count. The rebellion basically hinges on my planning and his strength. He'll be at the front of every charge, I can guarantee that much. There's no man in this world quite as strong as him.
Wow. What about Valessa?
Well, I don't really know anything about her yet, but I'd like to change that if I get the opportunity. I think she seems like a wonderful person.
And for Tim?
He seems really, energetic. Honestly, you'll have to ask me again in the future. We just haven't had the chance to hang out just yet.
Okay, that was all. Tell me more about the battle plan.
Sure. Anything specific?
No, not really. Just generally. What is the first step when we arrive at HQ?
Well, I'll have you rest for the day. Then we'll start training you with the Blade of Exodus tomorrow. I think that slow exposure therapy will be the best possible approach. As you build a tolerance for its power, you'll be able to wield it longer. Of course, you'll also be training in the basics of swordplay. Ulrich will make sure that you learn everything you need to.
Cool!
We have the benefit of foresight here. We know the Triumvirate will be busy with Valinorth. You can train, and we can attack Balteus right under their noses.
Nice. Do you have a detailed strategy of our first battle?
Yeah, and it's something you'll be hearing more of. We have some stuff to take care of for now. You'll get used to the war table, trust me.
Oh, even more game mechanics I have to learn. What will Alessia be like after the war is over?
Probably in chaos and disarray? We can't expect the people to embrace the new leadership, but we'll do our best to win them over and cater to their desires. Anything we can learn about the Triumvirate will also be useful. If we can prove that they're frauds, the people will accept us easier. The only question is, how in the world do we go about doing that? Either way, we'll have lots of work ahead of us. Winning this battle doesn't mean we can sit back and rest. We'll have an entire world to rule and reform. I can't wait.
Interesting. Do you have any idea how we can save Valinorth?
You mean imbue it with spiritual energy? I'm not sure. But I wouldn't classify your nation as dead. Not just yet. The power inside of you is proof that we can redirect it.
Okay. So maybe I will have to die, then.
If the spirits can move power from the land to an individual, well, there's no reason to believe that the reverse isn't possible. That blade is capable of so much. I think it will be the key to all of that.
I guess that was all, yeah. Okay, we're going to Mazeo Tavern? Ooh, cozy. As soon as we enter the tavern, the smell of ale assaults our noses. This wasn't anything like Peregrino. This was on an entirely different level. Bottles of foreign alcohol lines the shelves. I'd have no idea where to start looking.
Good call, Seer. No trip to Mazeo is complete without coming here. If it's time to relax for a bit, I'll just take a seat at the bar.
He gives me a sly smirk and immediately takes a seat. A bartender, who I can only describe as overwhelmed, takes his order. Pro takes a few steps forward and afterwards takes a deep breath.
You just can't beat that smell. If you need me, I'll just be checking my mail. I've been in Valinorth for a while. I'd hate to miss anything.
You have a mailbox here? Cool. Trotting off to the corner, he starts to inspect his mailbox. Oh, so now everyone is gonna go do their own thing and we can talk to each separate person in our pace and stuff. Shelves with letters and numbers line the back corner of the tavern. He must pay to have an anonymous address or something like that.
Taverns don't really do anything for me, Seer. I don't mean any offense by this, but I'll be waiting outside. That's not to rush your relaxation or anything. No, you deserve it.
Thank you. With a smile, he slowly backs out of the tavern. I guess this would be a good chance to talk to Pro and Ulrich. We haven't really had enough time to get to know each other yet. Valessa and Fortem takes a seat to start talking among themselves. I guess it wouldn't be the end of the world if we wasted just a little bit of time here. Ulrich is chugging a large cup of ale, and Pro is carefully reading over some letters. Oh, so it's heart to heart with both of them. Okay, let's do like this. Let's look at the stuff here, talk to the two of them, and then we end the episode. Yeah. So just first take a look around. I examine the shelves, looking for anything of note. I don't find much, except for a piece of some current news. It couldn't hurt to get a better perspective of Alessia's current state. Resting my back against the shelf, I start to read it. It seems to be about Alaranthia, Ulrich's homeland. Apparently, things aren't going very well over there.
Alaranthia's civil conflict. Could the next tournament held in Alaranthia's Colosseum be the last? That's the hope of a new uprising run by a mysterious woman known only as Vivian. Wanting to change Alaranthia's form of government into something more modern, she hopes to bring peace and organization to the otherwise savage lands. While the current tribe leader of Alaranthia has always had the ability to change the rules, none have been interested in anything other than retaining their leadership and proving their strength in Alaranthia's deadly arena tournaments. If Vivian's forces were victorious, she would have the ability to completely rewrite the rules that govern Alaranthia. However, because she is approaching the upcoming tournament with brains rather than brawn, it would require a miracle to secure victory. Chances are, Alaranthia will likely remain under the grip of Draku's strength. However, Vivian's ideals are likely to live on. Perhaps one day things will change. A recent Masayan news article.
Maybe we will change things. Like the winds of change. Ooh. I wonder who this Vivian is. Ulrich would definitely side with someone like her. I think that Alaranthia should be more like the mainland. Okay.
So, you ever drink this stuff before?
No. He motions up to the bar, gesturing broadly at everything. I've never seen bottles of alcohol like that, so I'm totally clueless. We're in a completely different region of Alestia. It's all new to me.
You'll have to join me. I can pick out the good stuff. Without me, you'd just be wasting time.
Wow.
Half the stuff on display isn't even that good. To be honest, they keep a lot of the good stuff down there.
He points underneath the bar. I guess that makes sense.
Cheers, by the way.
So I mean, if you want the good stuff, you have to know about it and ask for that specifically. He holds up his glass before taking a huge swig of ale.
It just doesn't compare to what they had at Peregrino. Anyway, I'll let you take care of your business. I'm right here.
Okay. Is there something here?
So, are you having a drink?
No, I'm good. There's too much to focus on.
You gotta do it sometime, you know?
Maybe after all this blows over.
That could take forever. You should take some time to unwind.
Are you getting something?
Yeah, I'm still deciding though. I don't know any of this stuff on the menu. It's like we're in a completely different world.
Didn't Ulrich have to buy you that apple earlier? where are you getting the money to order this stuff?
I was just thinking about it as well.
Oh, good question. I'm used to the way things are in Valinorth. Almost everything is provided to us because of our roles.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe you should go sweet talk Ulrich. If it's on him, maybe I'll consider trying something.
Sounds good. I think he likes me, so this'll be easy. Wait here. We'll try the fanciest thing on the menu.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's start with Pro, because I'm so curious about Pro and the heart-to-heart thing. So let's go. Pro rests his back against the mailboxes, shifting through letters. He must be pretty popular, as his hands are full of paper. I can't even imagine if I got that many letters in Valinorth.
Oh, hey there.
Hello. He looks up at me, startled, and turns to face the mailboxes. As if in a rush, he starts putting various letters into various mailboxes. He starts putting various letters in various boxes. Wait, all of those letters weren't actually his? Uh-oh.
Well, you caught me. Just don't tell anybody else, alright? This is one of the best ways to get information.
Ah, so you read other people's mail, I see. You can't just go through other people's mail, Pro. Hey, why don't you let me help you? I'll let it slide if you tell me some secrets. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, why don't you let me help you?
Oh, an accomplice.
Yeah.
I've never actually thought about that. I guess it could make things a little easier. Stand guard for me, alright? Let me know if anybody approaches. If I get caught, I can play it off as a misunderstanding.
You got it.
Oh, don't worry, just a little mix-up. Trust me, it works pretty much every time I'm caught. It's so easy to win people over. Just admit you did something wrong. They'll immediately switch their stance to defend you. Oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. People work in such weird ways.
He turns back to the mailboxes and raids them once again. I guess he assumed that it was okay, since I was one of his comrades. Well, you also said that it was okay. A big smile appears on his face as he borrows private information.
It's amazing what some of these people get up to. The most innocent people could be involved in awful things. See, I can beat blackmail, but these people can't. It's a good way to line the rebellion's coffers. So later today, I'm gonna pay this guy a visit.
Oh? He taps on one of the paper with his hand.
It would seem a reputable business owner is up to no good. I think he'd lose some business if people found out he worked with pirates. If I got him to pay me off, I could feed the rebellion for months, Seer.
He looks at me, as if waiting for my approval.
Is everything okay? I'm not scaring you away, am I? This kind of stuff isn't for everybody.
You can't feed the rebellion with dirty money, Pro. No, you're not scaring me off. Let's do this.
Now you're talking. This'll be my biggest score in months. I'll get it done tonight, and then celebrate in my room back at HQ. Feel free to pay me a visit. I'd be down for some quality time together.
Oh, of course, bro.
I mean, you still want to be friends, right? I hope all this danger doesn't scare you away. I'm not like this all the time. Trust me, Seer.
Don't worry. Hopefully we can be more than friends. Of course we can be friends, bro. I think about it actually. Hopefully we can be more than friends.
Wow, that's pretty forward. Does this danger stuff turn you on or something? You know what? Don't answer that. At least not here.
Oh, you wouldn't like to know that, huh? Would you?
Look, I have no idea what you're after. But to be honest, I don't know what I'm after either. If you want to pay me a visit later, we'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
My room back at HQ is pretty big and luxurious. We can crack open a bottle of wine to celebrate my big score. I'm not going to promise any more than that, alright?
Alright, that's fine. He carefully places the letters back in their respective mailboxes, clapping his hands together as if to brush off dust. He looks right at me, squinting his eyes. It's almost like he's trying to judge me or gauge me.
I gotta admit, you're a bit different than I expected. That's surprising, since I'm usually a good judge of character. You'd make an interesting subject to write about, you know.
Yeah, that's what I said in the beginning. First time we met. I shrug, unsure how to respond to such a thing.
Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I apologize. Let's just stick to the plan. Bottle of wine, Rebel HQ. I have a new target, so I should probably get going.
Okay, bye. He smiles at me and rests a hand on my shoulder. Oh.
There's not many people I can talk to about this kind of stuff. If I have to be honest, I'd say I'm kind of glad that you caught me. Next time we talk, it'll be your turn to spill some secrets. Alright?
Oh, okay. With a sly smirk, he slowly walks away from the mailbox. I guess I now know a little more about Pro's true nature. But in time of war, I guess you had to resort to stuff like that. Dominic must only allow it out of necessity. I'm sure Pro would stop this behavior once the war was over. Right? So rather than confront him, I chose to take him up on his offer. Learning more about him and over a drink could prove to be entertaining. And at the end of the day, it wouldn't hurt to make another friend. I turned back to the tavern, ready to move on to the next step. And the next step would be Ulrich, but I don't have time to do Ulrich in this episode, I'm sorry. As I said, this will be probably the shortest episode we've done this for. It's almost 1 hour recorded now, so I hope you enjoyed it, even though it was so short. And that we will start off the next episode with the heart-to-heart with Ulrich, so look forward to that. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. I mean, if you watch through the whole Winds of Change playthrough this far, at episode 7 now, I think it should be time to subscribe so you can see the rest of the stuff. Also, let me know what you think about having like shorter episodes like this. Would you prefer that, or do you prefer when it's longer episodes? I'm kind of curious about what people think about that. Anyways, if you want to support me, I have a Patreon that you can join, like these people. There's also a Discord server with a link in the description. And as a patron, you can access the Discord server's Patreon-exclusive channels and stuff on the Discord server. And once a month, we do a Patreon hangout, where I chat with my patrons in the voice channel, and we play games and stuff, and just hang out and have a good time. So if you're interested in that, check out the Patreon. Yeah, but that should be all for this time. So remember, guys, that you are loved and appreciated, and that you should be proud of who you are, because I want to see you in the next episode. Bye! No moaning at the starting of the video, but maybe moaning at the end of the video.